The villa is a residential community located just off Emirates Road in the direction of Sharjah. The residential complex contains three key areas: the Haciendas, which contain larger garden landscapes, the Ponderosa, which consists of ranch-style villas, and the Aldea, which consists mainly of courtyard housing. The villa community offers families a more economical housing alternative without sacrificing villa size or space.
I'm Dana, and I moved to Dubai in October of 2011, and I've lived in the villa since October of 2011.
Hi, I'm Heather. I've lived in Dubai since August 2009, and I've lived in the villa since July 2010.
Hi, I'm Rana. I've lived in Dubai for now 19 years, and in the villa since it first opened up, which is 2010.
I think for us it was a matter of the space available. The villas aren't so close together and on top of one another, and the lack of traffic. We're not downtown Dubai, so you don't really have to fight too much traffic, and the commute also was a major factor for my husband. For us, it was also being able to have our dogs in an environment where we didn't feel that they would be a risk to anyone. We could walk them freely. We can walk them in the desert. We can walk them in the community, and that was really one of the major factors.
Hi, we chose to live in the villa because we were living in the ranches in a 4-bedroom detached there, and we wanted to reduce our rent and also get a bigger house. So we chose the villa. Plus also it's on Emirates Road, so we were used to being near that road and used to getting up and down Dubai quite quickly via Emirates Road.
I think for me originally, it was a little daunting to try and figure out how to make friends or how to meet friends. I felt like a kid in the first day of school. But the first 2 months I really just concentrated on setting up our house, and that took 2 months to finish. But once that was done and I felt like I was ready to incorporate myself into the community, I found that there was a website that helped to link the community. I haven't found, unless I'm mistaken and I've missed it, that there's any association other than a homeowners association that from what I can tell, is not too active. But the website that I found has helped to make me aware of different coffee mornings, which I haven't been to yet. Maybe one of these days I'll get to one. I know that there are some classes, some yoga classes, some exercise classes, and we've started a book club, which is very small, but hopefully it will become a little bigger, and that seems to keep me occupied, aside from the friends we've made outside of the villa.
Yeah, I think the villa website is a great way that you can meet people. I was the 6th member on that website, and they did start up coffee mornings. I think play dates for smaller children, and there are other classes that other members are organising.
I think we mostly focus on Festival City and Murdiff. They're both within 10 to 15 minutes, and you can find pretty much everything you need in either mall or, I float between Kaifour and Hyper Panda for everything that I need. And the delivery service here, there are more and more things that are being delivered, so that makes life a little bit easier.
We choose to do a large shop at Carrefour at Murdiff, along with other general shopping down at Murdiff, or we go to the Mall of the Emirates. I also shop at Arabian Ranches at the Marché and the shops there because my children go to Jess there, so I do have a need to go there every day. We also use the delivery services that come onto the villa, food delivery, dry cleaning, as well as the convenience shop and many other shops and little restaurants that are setting up at Sky Courts Towers, which is just at the back gate.
That's actually, and I love this question because it's something that we didn't consider. And for my husband and the work that he does, this is normally one of the first things that he looks to is, the proximity of a hospital. And it was the first week that he was here with our youngest son, and I wasn't yet here. And we had a medical emergency at 4:30 in the morning. And it was quite frightening. He called me back in the States, and he didn't even know how to dial the emergency services. And back in the States, it's 911. Here, it's 999. But once he did reach somebody at the emergency services, he was so distraught that they didn't understand what he was saying, and he didn't understand what they were saying. And then to make matters worse, nobody knows how to get here. And that was a huge issue because our son was non-responsive, and he had to make the decision, because he couldn't get emergency services here, to carry him downstairs, put him in the car, and punch in the nearest hospital. And fortunately, the nearest hospital that he chose to go to was only about 15 minutes away. It was the American hospital. And that's because of that. That's now where we've ended up doing everything. But from being here for the first time and not having that familiarity and not having mapped out the closest facility was just absolutely, absolutely terrifying. So I would definitely suggest that if anybody considers moving here, to know exactly where the nearest facility is in case of emergency services, because trying to explain to anyone how to get here if they've never been here, it's an interesting event.
I think before you come over to Dubai, do your homework. There are lots of online resources. I think the most important thing is, if you have children, is focus on getting a school place first, because particularly if you've got very small children, it can be difficult at times to get places in schools. It's not as difficult if they're in senior schools, but it's not straightforward. Lots of schools are full. Some schools have even closed their waiting list. On the other hand, there are lots of new schools opening up. So focus on where you want to send your children to school, and then work out where you're going to live, unless you want to commute a long, long way.
At the beginning, it's just everything is new, everything is difficult, you're stressed, and so don't judge it for 1 year. Give yourself that time to just slowly get into it, to adapt and so on. And I think from my experience and all my friends who came and left and over the years, I think their first year would be the toughest, but then after that they end up loving it and they don't want to leave anymore.